it zooms in when you push the start button.
Welcome to Strip Cover Lit, where we squeeze the big picture of literature. I'm Adrian Fort.
And I'm Dalton Gentry.
And we're here for...
Variety Hour! We're going on an adventure!
In a fucking car, man.
That is the face of nightmares when you just turn it on, like you look at the driver's like, we're going on an adventure! It's gonna be fun!
Daddy's drunk again. And he's got that laugh.
So, since the Variety Hour, where we took books, and didn't take books, but bought books at the Barnes & Noble and donated them for children, since it went over so well, we figured, why the hell not? Let's film Variety Hour in the car again.
Yeah, we are making a great return towards skits being a part of our book reviews. So we are on the way currently to get footage for one of those skits, and we thought this would be a fitting time to Variety Hour.
The skits were a good thing, man. We used to have a lot of fun filming them. They always went over well. We kind of got away from them.
Yeah, we were trying to do too much, you know. And it's ironic that we're getting back to them in a year where we're trying to post a video every day of the year, but we're able to do so because we've put in so much work so far, preliminarily, that we have a plan on the entire year, and we've got work in the bank. So we're able to afford to make a great return towards doing a little bit extra than just talk about the literature.
And in true Strip Cover Lit fashion, we're like, let's do it in the car, let's film on the way, it'll be fun. It's 20 degrees outside, I can't turn the heater on because it ruins the sound. So I'm just going to shiver the whole way. It
would be better, Dalton, if you didn't have to have the window down so you could smoke.
I have an ashtray in here, I'm just being polite.
Yeah, so it's either bad or it's worse. You're being polite.
I'll smoke you out, it's fine. There's an ashtray in here. At least we can hear ourselves.
Yeah.
It's much nicer. I've also realized my beard just looks disheveled at this point. Like, I need to trim it up.
What in the high hell do you mean at this point, Dalton?
At this point. Like, most days it looks neat. It looks dapper.
Oh, does it?
It does. But at this point, I think it's time we got to make a change. We got to clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, you're getting wide on the jowl area.
Wide on the jowl? I don't think anybody's ever used the phrase wide on the jowl.
I hope they have.
So,
I hope that in the great lexicon of Adrian's creativity, wide on the jowl area is not the phrase for which I am most remembered.
So, Adrian, in true variety fashion, what are you doing this week? Anything exciting?
No.
Same old?
Yeah, I saw my niece for a bit.
Yeah.
Things aren't any better.
Still bad, huh?
Still bad. You know, one of the few words she knows is a 4-letter word for me, so I can't help her.
That's fair. So I have a soiree that I will be attending soon.
Yeah.
I think this might actually be close to up your alley for once.
Doubt it.
It's a party, which you know is fine. I go to a lot of those. It is a 1920s theme.
Yeah.
Roaring 20s. So
Roaring 20s.
I've got my suspenders and my bow tie all set to go.
Yeah.
I hope we are drinking liquor that will make me blind, but we're gonna make it happen. So, as a gift this year, I received. It's been a while back. I received a bottle of homemade absinthe.
From whom did you receive this gift?
Family. And I'm taking it with me. I've tasted a sip of it, and it is the strongest thing I have ever drank.
Yeah.
It is awful. It tastes like rubbing alcohol and black licorice.
Yeah.
So I figured 1920s. It sounds appropriate.
Hey, you remember that that selfie stick that I bought and I rented, I loaned you so you could film videos on your own, and then you never film videos on your own?
I do.
You bring it next time we're doing this, because this hurts my shoulder.
I'll try to remember.
It's a strange angle to have to hold this thing.
So my request for this party is, like, it's cool, we're all dressing up, it's going to be a good time. I demand that when I go to use the facilities, that there is gin in the bathtub. Like, even if it's just a bottle on ice, I demand bathtub gin for this party. I said bathtub gym, which is a completely different thing. We don't want bathtub gym, bathtub gin.
Bathtub Jim is the guy that shakes your Jimmy when you're done.
We're gonna turn Jim's gyms into Bathtub Jim.
Well, we'll have to. Jim's gyms will have to be for Frame Rate, which is the movie channel. Bathtub Jim will be for Bantam.
Crack this window because, my God, it's hurting my throat here. So, most parents assume, like, their children, they hope their children are going to grow up to be successful and, they can go to the nice soiree and be like, oh, my son did this and all that. I took the opposite approach. My father is going to be participating in our videos on Frame Rate for Jim's gyms. And hopefully we're going to get him in a bathtub to be Bathtub Jim. The best part is, like, I know he watches these because he always brings it up. He's probably just, like, shaking his head. He's like, God damn it, where did we go wrong with this one?
From the stories you've told about your father right now is plotting the wardrobe for Bathtub Jim.
He's writing the script for Bathtub Jim.
What could Bathtub Jim specialize in?
Like, my sister's, my youngest one is, like, very successful. She's doing great. My oldest sister married a rich guy.
You had that awkward pause. My older sister
married a rich guy. And, like, he's like, well, the son went to college, but he makes videos on the internet. I'm so ashamed.
Dalton, I've been ashamed of my existence for 20 years now. The moment I became self-aware, like the machines, I was ashamed.
You get used to it after a period of time. You just come to accept it.
Yeah.
That's all right, though.
You get comfortable.
A little disappointed, like, it's starting to spit snow. And, like, I'm aware it's 20 degrees and that's normal, but I don't like it. I need warm weather. I don't function well in cold.
Well, part of it is also that your windshield, I don't know if it's going to pick that up, is filthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just pushing dirt around at this point.
It's okay.
I don't know what you're doing there, but it's not all
good.
right.
It's not right.
Your windshield looks like my apartment.
So, I was rolling around ideas like, what can we do for Bantam? What would be fun? What would be easy? What could we do that would make a good show? Warm weather, I would love to take you camping for the first time.
I'm down for that.
We could go fishing. I could teach you how to fish.
Okay.
We could live outdoors for a weekend.
That's fine.
Okay. We'll plan it then. I've got plenty of tents and equipment. I've been preparing to be homeless all my life, so we're good. It'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. I don't know where I'm going with this. We'll drink whiskey from hollowed out tin cans, and I'll spin fire by the river for you.
Is that where you're going? Where?
I'm going to the casino. He told me to drive. It's like the only place I know to get in Kansas City is the casino, so that's where we're going at this point.
Well, I'll be.
I have no sense of navigation. We've talked about this before. This is like the only place that I really know how to get to, because out of habit, I've been here too much.
Yeah, I'm sort of that way. If I get someplace one time, I'm pretty good at being able to get back or get home from there. I came up at a different time than you, so I didn't have internet navigation or maps.com or whatever it is. My phone didn't do anything.
Okay.
So I had to, like the one sort of weird story I've got with it is I was on a local motorsports show for which we had to drive all over the state of Missouri to film. It was just awful, just a terrible experience. Never made a dime out of it. I can't tell you how much money in gas I spent, but one of the places we had to go was on a place called South Outer Road.
Okay.
But the actual area was northwest. So looking at this place on the map, like you pull out, so Google Maps existed, and I could Google an address, and I write down the directions. Mm-hmm. The place was called Northwest South Outer Road. So you throw an east in there, and it could be absolutely any place.
When I first moved to St. Joe, The first place I stayed was in a cabin down on the lake, and they told me it's Southwest Christie Lane. I'm like, okay. Southwest Christie Lane. No, it's Southwest Christie Lane Road. I'm like, okay, so like Christie Lane's a name, Southwest Christie Lane Road. They're like, yeah, but you live on Southwest Christie Lane Road Drive. And like at that point, I'm like, we're getting a little redundant here. I think we have to pump the brakes.
Lane Road Drive.
I feel like I should just loop and leave the casino now. Like this is the best win I've had in years.
Getting to leave with me?
It's a treat. So I dislocated a rib last year. We talked about that.
Yeah.
I have comped rooms at this casino.
Yeah.
So I was the middle of the week. I was still working overnight, so I had days off in the middle of the week. So I give them a call. I'm like, listen, I want a room because I know your nice rooms have hot tubs in them. And I just want a room. So they hooked me up. And I spent that night, I would wander down to the casino floor, get a cocktail, take it up to my smoking room, where I would lay in the hot tub, which is good for dislocated ribs, obviously, drink myself to oblivion, change smoke in the bathroom because it's a smoking room, and then go back downstairs to get more cocktails. Best night I've had in a long time.
How many comped rooms do you have to this place?
Unlimited.
Unlimited?
Yeah.
Why the fuck don't we shoot strip cover lit there?
I don't think you can film in a casino, but like we could probably film in the hotel.
That's what I mean. You've got the rooms.
We definitely could. I don't know if they're going to give me a room on a Friday night. I assume that's when they're busy, but during the week.
Call Meg and tell her you're not coming home.
Well, we went to Film Variety Hour, and I just drove to where I felt like I needed to go, and I live here now.
Unlimited shit.
It's a thing. I don't know. I don't really come to this casino anymore. I'd have to check to see if I still have ridiculous status. But I don't know.
What casino do you go to now?
Well, I live in St. Joseph, so I go to the St. Joseph Casino, which does not have a hotel, so you don't get any nice
Well, that's
things.
because during the day it doubles as a pawn shop.
Pretty much. Pretty much. I've come to the conclusion recently, like, I'm just going to start going in and writing a check to the doorman and be like, thank you, I had fun. This was a good time.
These were good times and great oldies.
Good times and great oldies.
Oldies 95.
I realize I may spend too much time and money and effort in casinos at one point in my life when I got a letter, and this was actually from the St. Joe Casino, which was the most concerning thing here. I didn't know that truck was going to make that turn correctly. And they said, hey, come on out on this day. We'd like to give you a free cruise. Well, that seems suspicious.
Yeah.
But I'll take the day off work to go find out. That's fine. No, that's wholeheartedly what it is. They sent me to the Caribbean for a week. Completely paid.
How much money have you lost there?
$2. $2.
How often do you lose a couple dollars there?
Well, they're talking about renovating the St. Joe Casino and moving it downtown and adding a hotel. I think they're going to name a wing after me.
The Gentry Ring?
the Gentry Room.
The gentrification?
It's the only downfall to filming Variety Hour while I'm driving is you're going to occasionally have to pick up here when I'm driving through traffic. Because, like, I don't want our Variety Hour to end in just a garbled wreck. And then just, like, cut to me in the hospital being like, thanks for watching, guys.
Are you worried about me being able to pick up?
No.
Is that what you're worried about?
I'm more worried about my driving skills at this point, but that's fine.
I'm fairly worried about your driving skills as well. Want to be very honest? We've never been in a wreck together, but we've been pretty close a couple times.
I've only technically been in 2 car accidents. The first of which, I was 16 and driving on ice for the first time. So yeah, it's fine. I put my parents' car in the ditch. Happens.
Yeah.
The only other time I was actually in the parking lot of Aldi's getting groceries. And, like, I'm at a dead stop and this truck starts backing out in front of me. So I, like, give him the complimentary honk, hey, you're really close, and he stops, and then just floors it right back into the back of my car. And, like, his truck completely caved in the hood of my car. His truck was fine, little scuff. But, you know, he took full fault. He's like, oh, I didn't see you. I'm like, well, I'm driving a Chevy Spark, so I understand. Yeah, beyond that, I'm pretty successful in the driving realm. It's one of the few things that I do well.
Yeah.
We are going to have to take a strip cover lit road trip at one point in time, though.
On the road with strip cover lit?
On the road with strip cover lit. Like, I feel like we need to go to a literary festival or something and, like, try to sweet talk our way into running a panel where we can talk about BookTube.
Like, what was it? Sam Cedar? Is that his name? Ended up with a TED Talks where he comes out dressed as a Roman soldier and just talked nonsense for 30 minutes.
It'd be fantastic.
If you've never seen that, it's I don't know.
Don't know what you're doing with your life?
Well, you're probably making good decisions, because that was mind-blowing that happened, that it got that far. I think his name is Sam Cedar. I'm not 100% sure. Sam Cedar is definitely a person. This is Sam something.
You don't do a lot of traveling, though, so, like, I imagine you haven't been on many a road trip.
No.
That's something, like, I am comfortable with. If you could, like, sit me in this car, give me a pack of cigarettes, a tank of gas, and let me listen to musicals, I will drive you wherever you want to go.
That sounds like hell.
It's not bad. Most people just, because I always suggest, my father taught me this, if you're traveling, you're going somewhere, travel at night. There's no traffic.
Yeah.
So you sleep during the day, everybody else will just sleep in the fucking car, and you can just drive straight shot and not be bothered. You can listen to your music nice and quietly while everybody sleeps.
Oh.
So when we went to Colorado, I drove straight shot there, no problem.
Yeah.
Went to New Orleans, straight shot there, no problem. Just sit me down and I'm fine. Just got to give me a task, keep me occupied. Now the fun point is here, I've never driven to your house from the casino. So I don't know where I'm going.
Okay.
So if we end up lost, if this video just cuts, it's because we're going to have to look up the directions.
We'll be fine.
I think this is correct, though.
If this takes more than 45 minutes, I'm going to have to eat you.
Descent into chaos. But no, I'm going to take you camping. I think that it will be a lovely experience for you. You don't swim, though.
I can't swim.
So...
I know how. I can't.
Okay. So, like, float trip is out of the question? Just standard camping?
Standard camp. Why? No, not float tripping.
So if you go camping, you can go floating.
I don't care. I'm not.
You'll be there. It's fun. I'm about it. I don't know what other camping activities we can do.
We could make arrowheads.
I feel like the first hour of me drinking beer, playing guitar by the fire, you'll just leave. Like, you'll walk home.
Don't know. I'll probably end up murdering him. They'll find the remains of a young man in a didgeridoo in a campfire with his left thigh missing. Because I had to have dinner.
So, let me word this a little better, because it did not come out the way I wanted to when I was thinking about it. As long as we've known each other, I realize we've never slept together. Like, I've never been in proximity of you sleeping.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
So, like, when we're camping, obviously we're going to be sleeping outside. Are you a light sleeper, or do you wake up easily?
I snore.
Okay, that's no problem.
I don't know if I wake up easily or not, to be very honest.
Okay. That's, like, it's a curve that I had to get over, because Megan is an incredibly light sleeper.
Yeah.
I am not. I can sleep through anything. And, like, when I wake up, I bumble around the house in true fashion, making noise.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm always terrified that, like, everyone's just a super light sleeper. So, like, when I wake up, I usually just lay in bed until somebody else does. Like, I hear another tent open up, I'm like, and I can make noise again. Look at that. I got us right on the right highway and everything.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. I'm so proud of me. Anyway, anything else you like to talk about with Variety Hour this week? Any Adrianisms?
I was bumbling around after having woken up in the middle of the night recently and ended up gashing my pinky. Do you see that?
Damn.
I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did. I must have slammed it into something, but my pinky is tender. There's a giant V-shaped cut on it. I guess I just slammed it into something, bumbling around. I'm glad I don't have those hardcore sleeping pills. What are they called?
Ambien?
Yeah, where people sleep drive on them.
I got a cousin of mine, and, like, a good friend, was telling me this story once that he didn't remember getting home. But he woke up the next morning, you know, from his slumber, went to scratch his ass, as you typically would do when you wake up. And he said that, like, he went for the scratch, and then his finger just, like, whoop, right into a hole, which terrified him. But it was not his asshole. Apparently, at some point in his night, he had gotten stabbed. And like he had a gaping flesh wound that he had somehow procured on his ass.
Yeah, never.
That's
never
heavy
done that
sleeping.
one.
That is incredibly heavy sleeping. Also, I don't think we're supposed to be on this road.
Yeah, you're going right back downtown.
Am I?
Yeah.
Do you live downtown?
No.
Shit. Okay, so we're gonna wing it. See
We'll be
where this
fine.
takes us. There's another casino up here. It's right by the bridge. It's the one I don't go to.
This is Dalton in a state of confusion.
I don't do this. I always have my phone on when I navigate.
Yeah.
And I was hoping it was going to tell me like Adrian's house left. It did not. And I'm now going into unventured territory. But you know, Kansas City skyline, it's nice. Looks nice out tonight.
Give you a look at that.
The fantastic suspension bridge. Talking to people at work, you know, I talk to people all over the United States. And I always mention I'm from Kansas City, that area. And at one point somebody's like, oh yeah, it's got a nice bridge. I'm like, that's pretty much the best thing anybody's ever said about Kansas City.
Yeah.
We've got a nice bridge.
I mean, if you want to overlook the crackheads that are sleeping on the side of it tonight.
It's too cold to be sleeping on the bridge tonight. That's warm weather sport.
So says you. Where are you going to sleep?
Not on the bridge over the water. It's like outdoor survival 101. Okay, so that's the Paseo. We don't want to go to the Paseo.
The Paseo will take you back north.
Will it?
Yeah, the Paseo Road and Paseo Bridge. It runs north and south.
I don't know.
I used to take the Paseo home every night when I was working on the plaza. I was working on the plaza 5 days a week. I was working in Zona Rosa 2 days a week. I was trying to go to school, and I was doing that motorsports show.
Busy man.
Yeah, it was rough. That was a rough time period in my life.
Well, let's take the Paseo. Because that'll take us north-ish. There's a lovely...
No.
No?
Yeah, I don't think so. Never mind.
So we're going east. We're going
Yeah.
to St. Louis. There's actually, I believe you take the Paseo to get over to it. There's an amazing summer Shakespeare festival in Kansas City. It's called Heart of America Shakespeare. And it's been around for like 30 years now, I think.
It's a pretty high acclaimed Shakespeare festival.
It is. They draw some big names out there, big name performers. I've seen 2 of their shows now out there. Much Ado About Nothing was one year, and Hamlet was the other. Hamlet was phenomenal. I don't know what they're doing this year, but I will most likely be going. So as always, you should come with us.
Not going to happen.
See, it's Shakespeare. You don't want to go watch Shakespeare?
It's Shakespeare and people.
There's a lot of people. But it's free admission. You bring in your wine and your cheeses, and you sit in the park and you watch Shakespeare. It ain't bad. Again, do you have any idea where we are?
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay. I think I can get us to another casino from here.
Go ahead and take us to your casino.
Which way is Kansas? West. We're gonna go south.
Okay.
Couldn't get over to the west.
That's the thing. The thing I don't know if this is really this way other places. It didn't seem as bad when I was living in St. Joe, and it didn't seem as bad when I was in St. Louis. The highway system here is it seems to me, poorly signed. So you have to know exactly where you're going, because you've got to cross several highways to get to the highway you want.
That chunk back there, like all those exits and everything, that is a nightmare. Always is. I don't think I've ever taken the correct exit out there.
Yeah, that's rough. It was very rough when I had to take it every day. Because whether you know where you're going or not, you might have an on-ramp that is 50 yards from your off-ramp.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's on the other side of the highway. And
Over
you got
like 5 lanes of traffic.
5 lanes of traffic. You got to figure out how to get there.
Okay, so Liberty Memorial's up here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting my bearings now.
Yeah.
That's where they hold Rockfest, or they did hold Rockfest for years. That is an experience.
Yeah.
If you want people, go to that.
I do not.
That's a nightmare, man. No, thank you. No, thank you at all.
I've never been to Liberty Memorial.
Really?
Yeah. It is, from what I understand, is it the only memorial to World War I in the United States? Or the predominant?
I don't know if it's the only. I do know it is the predominant, though.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because they used to have a massive rock music festival there every year, and like tens of thousands of people packed in around the Liberty Memorial, and like nobody ever stopped in to go check out the museum.
No.
It sucks. They used to have concerts down at Riverside, River Market area, where they have the Steamboat Arabian Museum. And they actually had to move the concert venue away from that because like people were getting drunk and going into the Steamboat Arabian Museum and breaking shit.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. But no, I used to go to concerts out there all the time. I saw Cake out there. I love Cake. Saw Mumford & Sons, Weezer, Coheed and Cambria.
Yeah, there's a lot of... so Kansas City must be like in the top 5 hipster capitals of the world. All of these bands... Kansas City breaks hipster bands so that they're first played in Kansas City. We fly hipster bands in. We home grow hipster bands.
Well, the Northwest was huge for the grunge area, the Seattle area with Nirvana and things like that. Kansas City is definitely stamping their name for this new era of music, because they do break a lot of bands. They do take a lot of chances on a lot of bands, and I don't think it's something they get a lot of credit for.
No, Alt J first played on 96.5 The Buzz.
Kansas City.
Yeah. The Underground Tapes. We got that Bob Dylan song that was played by Marcus Mumford.
Kansas City.
Called Kansas City.
Madison Ward and the Mama Bear. Kansas City.
One of the other great big ones was broken in Kansas City, but I can't remember who it was. Talking Alt J world famous level.
The first casino we just left was Harrah's. They have the Voodoo Lounge, which is a small music venue.
Yeah.
And 96.5 The Buzz, the station we're talking about that breaks these bands quite often, they do a venue out there called Kegs and Eggs, where it's a concert at like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. And it's usually a band that's playing that weekend in town at a big hall. But it's just an acoustic set. They'll play maybe 4 or 5 songs. They serve breakfast there. And it fits maybe 300, 400 people. I actually went to one. I went and saw the Wombats out there. And it was awesome, man. It was great. You come in, breakfast is on the radio station. Your first cocktail's on the radio station. And it's a free concert. If you're just not doing anything at 8 a.m. on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
I know Josh and Jeremy, those sons of bitches, went and saw Mumford & Sons. They did a Kegs and Eggs before they did their first tour.
Yeah.
And they saw them at like a super, super private acoustic venue well before Mumford & Sons became Mumford & Sons.
Yeah, you're out of my realm now. I don't know where you're at.
Really? This is a problem then, because we are officially lost.
I thought you knew where you were going.
No, I told you I needed to go to Kansas, and we're heading south now.
You said you knew where we were going.
No.
That's what you said.
Yeah, I said I could get us to a casino, and I said, hey, I need to go to Kansas, but we didn't get to the exit. And I'm like, oh, we're going south now.
Well, I heard you say that, but I thought that you were going south to get on a road to go west.
No, I have no idea where I am. I'm just driving.
Okay, well, if we're headed south, we need to be headed north.
So we should turn around.
Yeah, we should turn around.
I will say, though, I think we're getting close to Swope Park.
Are we?
I'm pretty sure we are. I came out here and did Go Ape once. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's the big treetop adventure thing. They basically just hook you up to a harness and you zip line and go across all these obstacles in trees.
Okay.
It was fun. I'd totally do it again. I think it'd be a great show for Banta. I even actually talked to them when I was there. Said, hey, we do this thing. We really like film out here. They gave us a discount card.
Really?
Yeah. If we ever want to go do it.
Why didn't you tell me that?
I think I did.
You told me about doing it. You didn't tell me you got a discount card to do it again.
Yeah.
Because they were excited to have someone film there.
Well, let's go do it then when it warms up.
Let's do it when it's cold.
I don't like heights, but it was a good time.
I'm not afraid of heights. I'm afraid of falling.
Only at one point, because you're harnessed in good and they go over safety instructions, but they really do just turn you loose. There's no safety instructions on the way. You're just on your own. But at one point, we were at one of the tallest areas on this very thin tree, and you could feel the tree swaying in the wind.
Yeah.
At that point, I'm like, nope, it is time to go somewhere else because this tree is coming down and I'm going with it.
Did you never climb trees as a kid?
Not really. No, like when you climb a tree, you go up to the first branch you can sit on. You don't go to the very, very top.
Yes, you do.
No.
What kind of trees did you climb?
Like
that is the express
shrubs.
purpose of climbing trees.
Like I climbed the mulberry bush in Jim's backyard. Yes, East Swope Park Zoo.
Oh, okay.
And we're right out here by Swope Park and Starlight. I feel like at this point in time, like anyone who watches Variety Hour has the unique ability to track our route. And you probably know where you are better than we are. All right. I feel like I should turn around and go north.
I told you that 5 minutes ago.
It was a great idea, and I came in with it.
This is one of the reasons I don't like you.
Yeah?
I said one of.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm glad you keep a list.
I should keep a literal list. We'll put it online. Reasons I hate Dalton. I could write a book. I might do that.
I think you should. I think you really should.
I'll just prorate it out a couple hundred words a day.
Have you ever been to the Swope Park Zoo?
The zoo, no. I've been to Swope Park.
Okay. I've been to Swope Park. I've been to Starlight numerous times. I used to go to a yearly theater award show out there. And I've seen shows out at Starlight. I have never been to the zoo. I've never been to the Kansas City Zoo. And I'm pretty sure it is free if you're a resident of like Kansas City area.
I believe so, yeah.
Greater Kansas City area. We should make that a thing. I did get super excited once. I think it was the Omaha Zoo. They had this event where you could bring your tent and sleep in the jungle exhibit.
What?
Yeah, you could bring a tent and sleep in the jungle exhibit, like with the animals out at night. And it was like, sleeping in the jungle. And I'm like, oh my God, Megan, we're doing this. This is going to be the best thing ever. We're going to camp in the jungle. And then I realized it was for ages 12 and below. I'm like, shit. Why don't they do cool things like this for me?
Well, you can always convince them that you've got some disability, so you're actually 10. You just look like you do.
I have Benjamin Button disease. Aging backwards. Fitzgerald. All right, north. I know I've been down here before for more than just this. I just don't know where I am.
Yeah, we're in the midst of the primary of Kansas City. But Kansas City is a very strange place.
It is.
Strange and expansive.
This. Very spread out. And everyone who lives around Kansas City, like if you live in Gladstone, Liberty, even St. Joseph, you're just from Kansas City.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Everybody's just from Kansas City.
No.
Yes.
No.
That's the way it is.
No. No. St. Joseph is most definitely not Kansas City.
Oh, God, no. And, like, St. Joseph's big enough I can say, yeah, I'm from St. Joe. People understand that. But still, when I'm trying to describe to someone, like, where I live and they're not familiar with this area, I say outside of Kansas City.
Oh, yeah, but even then, people think you're in Kansas.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, always. And if I knew where we were going, we would be in Kansas right now. I was trying to take us to Legends. You familiar?
Yeah.
Big casino out there. Good casino. Nice casino.
Actually, Kansas City was established before the state of Kansas.
Really?
Yeah. So they stole it from us.
Bastards.
I said us. As in me, not you. You're not from Kansas City.
So I saw a thing recently. That's loud. So I saw a thing recently. They had taken NFL helmets and like redone them with the logos of the local colleges. And I'm like, well, that'd be cool to see a Chiefs helmet with like Mizzou colors. Nope, they went KU.
Oh no.
Yeah, who does that? Could at least went like UMKC, but no, KU, bastards.
You really feel like you have to smoke, don't you?
I always smoke. I smoke in the car all the time. That's what I do. Crack that a little bit for you, just kind of air it out a little bit. I also feel like this Variety Hour has just descended into complete chaos because I genuinely don't know where to go.
We're fine.
Okay.
We're headed north.
We are headed north.
We were headed south until we didn't know where we were.
Did I tell you about the one road trip where I decided to go north?
No.
I went north to go visit friends in Iowa, and we continued north to go to a cabin in Minnesota, and ended up in Canada.
Really? You've been to Canada?
A few times, yeah. Again, I leave the house.
See, this is what I absolutely hate about hipsters and what I absolutely hate about Dalton. So we've been down the road before on the channel that I don't travel because I don't think it means anything. If you've driven past something, you have no idea what that actually means, what it means to be there. I live places, I've lived different places. I've lived in 4 cities, which is a little bit different. Dalton's visited a whole lot of cities. Hipsters, for all they're worth, believe that seeing something is partaking in that thing. That seeing someone do something is you yourself knowing how to do it. Dalton didn't make this road trip. Dalton heard about it on a movie, didn't you, Dalton?
What road trip? To Canada?
Yes.
No, I made that road trip.
Horse shit.
I have pictures, damn it. I will show you the pictures of road trip. That's a thing.
You did plan to do it?
We went to Iowa, and I was going to go visit friends in Iowa. We got there, and they said, hey, my roommate, their family, has a cabin on a lake in Minnesota. So we're going to go up and spend the weekend in Minnesota. I'm like, all right, I'm here for the week. Let's go. So we move north. We get to Minnesota and realize how close we are to the Canadian border and decide, well, let's go check out Canada. This was before you needed the passport to go in. So fuck yeah, we went up to Canada.
What did you do in Canada?
Went to the fucking border and came back.
So your story of I got a wild hair and drove north became I visited friends who were in Iowa. Those friends in Iowa, and I had the entire week, were going to Minnesota. They took me to Minnesota, and then we drove to get poutine in Canada and came back.
We went to Tim Hortons. I went to Canada when I was a kid. I don't remember it, unfortunately.
No. Don't change this to a different story. Is that what was just communicated?
That is what happened. I went to spend a week in Iowa. I got there. They said, hey, we're going to Minnesota.
Who drove?
We split it.
Whose car?
Not mine. I can't remember if it was my friends or their roommates, to be honest.
So your story was, I got a wild hair and decided to drive all the way to Canada, which became...
I am more than happy to travel wherever you want to go. You call into work for the next few days and fund the gas, I will drive us to the ocean. And we'll jump in and come back. It's not a problem. I can be back by Monday.
Do you see the digression of that story, though? Do you understand what I'm talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about. I went to Canada. That's a thing.
Your story was, I got a wild hair and drove to Canada. The truth was, you visited friends in Iowa. Friends in Iowa had business in Minnesota. You split driving someone else's car to Minnesota and decided to look at Canada.
It was a lovely country. It was gorgeous. We traveled the country, drove through the countryside, saw all the wild Canadians.
Canadians, you know, they got that hair, you know, and they got their mustaches are huge.
They got the geese. They got the geese up there in the Canadas.
They walk around with geese and mises, and they got just this syrup in their pockets.
Just their beard is so sticky and covered in syrup.
Grows out of their beards.
So, different story. My family used to go up to Canada to go fishing. Jim's a big fisherman. And it was a big thing, like, when they were younger. And then I guess, like, right before I was born, they were up in Canada. Like, my mother was having some, like, she thought I was going to be born, so I was almost born in Canada. So I was almost Canadian. And then we came back to Missouri. I was born, like, a week or two later, or something like that. But I do remember, like, when I was younger, that was a trip we'd always make. We'd go to the Mall of America in Minnesota, and then we'd go to Canada, and we'd go on a fishing trip. And, like, I vaguely remember the fishing trip and stuff, but, like, that's all I remember from that experience. And, like, Jim keeps talking. It's like, one of these days, we're going to go back. We're going to go back to Canada. So if I ever make it, I'll let you know. Make it back to Canada.
If you like this sort of thing, hit the like button. Hit subscribe if you are not already subscribed. We hope to do more vloggy things in the future. And if you are so inclined, there is a link to our Patreon, as always, to be found in the description below.